The hybridized powertrain here in the 24 Tacoma TRD Pro not only makes the driving experience smoother, but it should also give us better fuel economy in all sorts of driving situations. But how does it compare to the old V6 when you're just cruising along at 70 miles per hour on the highway? Tonight we find out. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and tonight we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. In this test, we're going to head out on the highway and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour to get a realistic fuel economy number for this 4-cylinder turbocharged hybrid off-road truck. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Yes, very hyped up, very exciting that we've got a new generation of Tacoma. You can probably tell even in this nighttime light that we've gotten it pretty darn dusty and dirty. We've been putting this thing through its paces. We actually took a road trip with it, so you can check the link to that video down below in our review, but tried it out with 3 grown adults and had a good time both on road and off. And the truck really hits a lot of its bases well. It's got some quirks, but I think those can be resolved. So if you do want to see more on the truck, check the link below. We've also got a dedicated breakdown for the JBL sound system, the infotainment system, and yeah, our full review, all that can be found below. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's highway fuel economy test, which gives this, motor's coming on there, which gives this TRD Pro 24 miles per gallon highway, that test only averages 48 miles per hour. We know there are plenty of people who do big miles on their trucks and would like to know what sort of numbers you can realistically expect here in the real world. So in order to test that out, we're going to head over to the gas station here, fill up, go out and do 100 miles, come back, fill up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. Now, a few things to note for tonight. Outside temperature is 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Our tire pressures have been set to their door placard 30 psi cold, and we're going to run the climate control at 73 degrees auto. Might as well get that going right now. Now, I'm really looking forward to this one. I am impressed by the numbers that we're seeing, especially because if you get into something like one of the 2.7 liters in the GM trucks and get one of the off-road packages and you're well into the teens for fuel economy. But yeah, if we can still pull out even above 20 on the highway, I'll be fine with. But if we got EPA 24, that'd be really impressive, because obviously the EPA test where you're speeding up and slowing down and not averaging as high of a speed, and it's going to lend itself better to a hybrid, where a hybrid's not really going to be helping us all that much when we're just cruising along, not really changing too much elevation. We do have some drops and climbs in this test, but nothing too dramatic. All right, let's hop out and fill it up. We put in 12.634 gallons for our first fill, and before actually starting the engine, we're going to reset our GPS and the truck's trip computer, and we are ready to begin. Now, we've got a number of different drive modes and drivetrain modes here in the TRD Pro, but we're going to run this into high, and then for drive modes, we're going to go down into eco. And we're going to take it nice and easy over to the highway, pick up the test from there. Now, the goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to squeeze out the best fuel economy possible for this truck, but rather a realistic figure. So in order to do that, we're getting up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace, and we're going to set our cruise control at a GPS indicated 71 miles per hour. That should allow us to average about 70 over the whole test. Looks like the speedometer is actually spot on. Can't quite see our GPS very well because I have it faced toward the camera over there, but yeah, 71 on the dash is giving us 71 on the GPS, so we're going to settle in there. Initial highway impressions, I've actually had this on the highway quite a bit already today, and it's really good. The seat comfort's good. I was worried that the seat bottom would be too firm, but it actually is decently supportive over the day. And for this being a capable off-road style truck, it's actually pretty darn quiet in here. You'd expect to be hearing a lot of the tire noise, you'd expect to be hearing a lot of exhaust drone, but no, they did a really good job insulating here on this TRD Pro model. Love having that the hybrid battery there and the electric motor to fill in the gap before the turbo builds up boost. It's very easy to merge. And we're going to settle on in, catch up with you at the end of the test. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the Tacoma TRD Pro. I don't know where the EPA is getting their numbers from, because at least according to the vehicle's trip computer, we're averaging 18.8 so far on this drive. And I don't need to tell you, that's pretty significantly off the 24 on the EPA rating. And again, I know that hybrids do better on the EPA test and you know, with more kind of variation, slower speeds. But the thing is the EPA test, the highway version, should represent the numbers that somebody could expect if they're going to drive their car on the highway. I mean, my father is a perfect example. He owns a Tacoma. He drives it about 700 miles a week, and most of that is highway. So for him, he needs to know what sort of fuel economy you get on the highway. So if he bought this expecting it to get 24 and it's getting 19, he'd be a little disappointed, even at just at 70 miles per hour here. Now that being said, the rest of the truck is just great. I think they did an awesome job at the sound deadening, the ride quality. It's a little firm, but again, it's the off-road truck. The comfort, I've spent all day in this truck. I got in it at 9:30 this morning, and it's 10 o'clock at night now, and I've only spent probably 3 or 4 of those hours not in the truck today. So I've been in here all day, and I'm still comfortable. The seating position's good, the adjustment's good. Very good truck to be in for a long period of time, but that fuel economy number is a bit disappointing. Now we're going to get it back, we're going to fill it up and see if it's any better, but I'm also just looking down at the fuel gauge. Holy cow, we're already down a quarter tank. So that's interesting as well. Again, we got big all-terrain tires and everything. I'm sure a limited model with this motor would do a little better, but anyway, all that being said, we're going to get it back to the pump here. We're going to fill it up and see if that number is affirmed and crunch some final data. 5.111 gallons was our final fill, and we traveled exactly 100 miles on the dot. So 100 divided by 5.111 is giving us, all right, 19.6 miles per gallon. So even though the truck is reading right below 19, mathematically speaking, that would round up to 20 miles per gallon. So I don't know. I mean, these were pretty ideal testing situations. It's a very smooth test tonight. We averaged just a hair under 70 miles per hour. People get really mad when I don't go with the mathematical number. I personally would probably round down to 19 because that's closer, kind of averages out. If you average the 18.8, is that what we were at for our final figure here? Go all the way back home. Wait for that to load. Bring this up. Trip information. History. 18.9. So we're at 18.9 and we averaged that out with the 19.6. It'd really technically round down to 19. But I guess let's give it. There's 20 miles per gallon here for the TRD Pro Tacoma. Still 4 miles per gallon below EPA. And I know some people would probably be expecting a little bit better number with the hybrid. But hey, you don't get really that much help from the hybrid powertrain cruising on the highway. In fact, we have this little gauge right here that tells me whenever hybrid assist is being used, and I barely saw that happen at all when we had the cruise control set. We've got an 18.2 gallon fuel tank in here, so 18.2 times 20 miles per gallon. It's giving you not a very large cruising range here, 360 miles in the Tacoma TRD Pro. And if we went to 19 miles per gallon times the 18.2, it's 340. So somewhere around there, that 350 mile figure is going to be what you're going to be needing to go to until, or what you're able to go to before you have to stop. So I'd be really curious to try out a limited model, see if we get a better figure. I thought I had fuel economy numbers for the TRD Pro of the last generation, but unfortunately I do not. The only one we have is a TRD off-road, and that one came in and I think 22 miles per gallon. So we'll test some of the other variants throughout the year or so, get some more figures, but that's what we got for this one. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the TRD Pro Tacoma or the TRD Off-Road we had briefly earlier this year, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.